It's Dave TV. Just trying a few different things here on Dave TV for the 25th of June 2014. How y'all doing, everybody? What the heck? It's seven. What is it? 6 months. 6 months to Christmas. So go out there and get your Christmas shopping done. But it's still summer here in the Washington area, and a memory of the great old Z104, one of the great summer radio stations, WWZZ, WWWZ. Remember they were on 104.1 and 103.9. What were they? WWWZ, WVZ, ZZV, WWZZ, and WWVZ. I think that's what they were. TheZ.com. Anyhow, I wonder if you call those numbers if anybody'd answer. But anyhow, I don't know. Of course, this is my camo. Of course, I have a camo backpack. You see, you know, my camo backpack, which I love to wear this. I just do. I actually don't wear it on the back too much, but you know, what the heck. And of course, my camo cap. There we go. I usually have boots on, but today I'm barefoot, so what the hell. Anyhow, got this in the mail the other day. I killed Pink Floyd's pig. Inside stories of sex, drugs, and rock and roll by Beau Phillips. And then there's Beau Phillips with Sammy Hagar right there. I Killed Pink Floyd's Pig is a collection of funny, decadent, outrageous stories about rock's greatest superstars. It's your all-access pass, a behind-the-scenes VIP tour of when rock was great, when the air was clean, when gas was cheap, when disco sucked, and climb in the limo and strap in. Really interesting here. Beau is a former radio DJ, program director, and vice president general manager of influential rock stations. He orchestrated the programming for America's largest radio network and was senior vice president of marketing at MTV Networks. So cool. Lots of pictures in here. You know, a lot of cool pictures. There's Joan Jett and Lou Gramm, I guess from Foreigner, and yeah, some really cool stuff. Paul McCartney's in here. Steve Miller. This guy got around. Eric Clapton, ZZ Top. So a lot of cool stuff. What's this? More Sammy Hagar, Van Halen. This guy really got around. So Bob Geldof. Really, Sam Kinison. Remember Sam Kinison? ZZ Top, Billy Gibbons there. Check that beard out. It's almost as long as mine. I like how he kind of splits it down the middle like that. It's kind of weird. But so anyhow, cool little book here. I haven't started reading it yet. I will. But he worked at KISW in Seattle. Sammy Hagar. Some really cool stuff. But some really cool stuff. Peanut Butter Publishing, Seattle, Washington. Check this out. You can order it on Amazon.com. I've got a link. Did I put a link to this up? No, I don't think I did yet. I'll have to do that. Put a link to it up on DCRTV. But anyhow, that's cool. So check this out. Oh, and he sent me a nice little thing. You know, I love it when radio people autograph their books for me. Dave, appreciate your support. Enjoy the wild ride, Beau Phillips. So there we go. Oh, this is driving me crazy. I gotta get this off. I'm stuck. Anyhow. All right, folks. So anyway, let's hobble on over here to the Media Central here so I can give you the latest news from the DCRTV world of news. Well, look, see now that you can't even see my beautiful face. You can't even see my beautiful fuzz face there. Let's try it over here. We got the lighting, lighting. There we go. There we go. Move this around. Da 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 da. That's better, isn't it? Oh, there's my Felix the cat clock right there. The funny thing is the battery, when the battery starts to wear out, the tail and the eyes bounce back and forth, but the battery gets low and the tail stops bouncing back and forth, but the clock still works. So I don't know. I hate replacing the batteries when the clock's still working. I guess when I don't know. Who knows? Doug Hill. Congratulations to Doug. I get buffed. That's crazy. Doug Hill, 30 years, just celebrated 30 years of doing weather in the Washington TV market. Remember Doug, he now works at Channel 7. He worked at Channel 9 for many years. But he's worked at, he was 16 years at Channel 9 as chief meteorologist, where he started in 1984. Began his broadcast career down in Richmond at WWBT. Before that, he's a Maryland native. He went to Towson State. He entered the U.S. Air Force, and after he got out of the Army, the military, he went and became a Prince George's County police officer. Served for 6 years. And then I guess he befriended Mike Buchanan over at Channel 9 and John Harder at Channel 7, because they were both, covered a lot of crime stuff. And so, and they said, Doug, you got a face for TV. Get into the media business. And so that's what he did. So he got into weather. So he worked at Channel 9, worked up the ladder, became Channel 9. Then remember Bill Kamal? It was Bill Kamal and Doug Hill were the two main weather guys there. And it was kind of like a cat fight. Which of you two guys is going to be the top weather guy? And Doug won. And Bill left, went down to Florida, and a lot of nasty things happened to him down there. But we won't get into all that. And Doug worked at Channel 9 for many years and then popped over to Channel 7, where all the great people go, the Maureen Bunions and the Gordon Petersons and the Arch Campbells and the Tim Brants. If you're a legendary DC news person, probably you'll end up at Channel 7 one of these days. Except for Jim Vance, of course. You can see Jim Vance going to set. No, I can't see that. But anyhow. Congrats to Doug. 30 years doing the weather here in the Washington metropolitan area. It looks like Clear Channel's trying to get a 6th FMer. Clear Channel's got 5 FMers in this market. They got Big, Wash, MZQ, DC 101, and Hot 995. It looks like they're trying to wedge in a 6th one. So they're trying to get this little dinky signal in there. They got a 94.3. They're trying to bring down from Frederick, but they can't get the power juiced up because it'll conflict with another station that Red Zebra owns on 94.3. So they're trying to move it over to 104.9. Why do you go 104.9 right next to WAVA at 105.1? I mean, that's a stupid move. But the real intention is to get the signal over to 104.7 or 104.5 and then try something new there. So who knows what they're going to do? But it looks like they're trying to wedge in a 6th signal into the Washington metro area on the FM band there. So we'll see what happens about that one. Also, some more last-minute dealings with Sinclair and Allbritton, Sinclair, a year ago, last July, said we're going to spend $985 million to buy 8 stations from Allbritton, including Channel 7 here in Washington, and it's been hung up ever since. It's just a mess. There's stations in Harrisburg, there's stations in Charleston, South Carolina, there's stations in Birmingham, Alabama, where Allbritton already owns stations, and Sinclair would buy more stations, and Sinclair would spin them off to shell companies or what, and yeah, it's a mess. It's a giant mess, and they're still doing all these things. But anyhow, the bottom line is if it doesn't close by the end of July, the deal doesn't close, doesn't get approval from the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, then both parties can walk away. And we look like somebody like Hearst or somebody will come in and probably buy the stations. But then Hearst got some problems because Hearst would then get Allbritton stations in Harrisburg, and Hearst already owns Harrisburg's NBC affiliate, WJLA up there in Lancaster. So it's going to be a mess no matter what happens. But it'd be nice if ABC would just come in and say, we'll buy them. Of course, ABC won't do that because ABC just wants Channel 7 in Washington. They don't want all those other pony little stations out in Little Rock and Lynchburg and Charleston and Harrisburg. They don't want all those stations, even though they're all ABC affiliates. But anyhow, we'll see what happens with that. Latest radio ratings, no big surprises. TOP's up top. In Baltimore, interesting that WTOP and WNEW are tied for 18th place. But here in Washington, WTOP is first and WNEW is 22nd. I'm noticing a little bit of a tick up for NEW. They're no longer 26th. or 28th. They're now more like 22nd or 23rd. So there is a slight amount of approval for them, a little room of approval there for WNEW, but still a long way to go to catch up to WTOP. I don't know. I don't know. All right, folks. Thanks for watching Dave TV for the 25th of June, 2014. Book 'em Dano.